Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. Today, a dual Israeli-American national has been arrested for making bomb threats against Jewish community centers in the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and other parts of Europe. A few hours ago, police arrested the 19-year-old suspect and raided his home in the coastal city of Ashkelon. At a court hearing in the Israeli city of Rishon LeZion, the suspect's defense attorney said that the young man suffers from a growth in his head, causing a behavioral defect. The suspect's father has also been detained and is being questioned over an unusual assortment of electronic equipment that may have been used to carry out the hoaxes found in the suspect's house. Federal authorities in the United States have been investigating a surge of threats against Jewish community centers that's included over 100 bomb threats spanning dozens of states since January. Israeli police have said the FBI agents participated in the probe that led to the arrest earlier today. Updated numbers from the terror attack in London yesterday show that 3 people were killed, including a police officer, and over 40 are now estimated wounded. Responsibility for the attack has since been claimed by the Islamic State. The terrorist first rammed his car into pedestrians on the Westminster Bridge before exiting and stabbing an officer to death in front of the Parliament building. The terrorist was shot dead at the scene, and 7 more have since been arrested in connection to the attack that British PM Theresa May condemned as sick and depraved. Israel, which has suffered hundreds of similar attacks, especially since October 2015 when the so-named stabbing intifada began, has offered condolences to the victims and vows to aid in catching and preventing such attacks with the UK in the future. The Tel Aviv City Hall building lit up like the United Kingdom flag in solidarity with the European island nations, and Deputy Foreign Minister Tzipi Hotovely said in a statement that terror is terror wherever it occurs, and we will fight it relentlessly. Rabbi Levenstein is again coming under fire for his controversial comments, but this time because of his critique of an Israeli Supreme Court ruling made under former Chief Justice Aaron Barak. The ruling essentially says that same-sex married couples are equal to heterosexual couples. Levenstein said that rulings like this have led to the country turning, quote, from a democracy based on the rule of the people to a democracy based on liberal postmodern values, end quote. This is despite the polls showing that 75% of Israelis favor strengthening LGBTQ rights. He also pointed to rulings favorable to Arabs settling in communities that he believes were to be purely Jewish. He said, quote, it determined that Zionist settlement, meaning the establishment of communities in the Galilee and Negev for the purpose of Judaizing them, is discriminatory. In this, he put a halt on the possibility of establishing Jewish communities in places where Jews are a minority, so we could continue to settle the land of Israel, end quote. The previous comments that Levenstein is in trouble for regard his views on integrated military service. The rabbi, who runs a religious military preparatory program, said the Jewish women in the IDF, quote, are not Jewish on the way out, and that the military drives them crazy, making them unfit for marriage. Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman has since called for the rabbi to resign, even threatening to no longer recognize his schools. Today, more political drama is unfolding that could lead to a surprise election, as Minister of Agriculture Uri Ariel from the Jewish Home Party announced that he will quit the coalition if Netanyahu accepts United States demands to freeze settlement construction. During his visit to the region last week, Trump's special envoy for international negotiations, Jason Greenblatt, sat with Prime Minister Netanyahu to discuss restarting the stalled peace process. According to several Hebrew media reports, the United States has requested that Israel refrain from expanding settlements beyond the 3 main settlement blocks, and that building within the blocks be confined to an annual quota. Netanyahu has currently rejected the terms as set by Greenblatt. An IDF officer has just received an 11-year prison sentence in a secret trial for a number of offenses. The officer in question served within the civil administration as part of the Coordinator of Government Activities in the Territories, or COGAT, which acts as a liaison between the Israeli government, the IDF, and the Palestinian Authority. The officer in question was convicted in December for a number of crimes, including sexual harassment, accepting bribes, fraud, breach of trust, and exceeding his authority to an extent that endangers national security. Since the start of the investigation, the officer's name, rank, and most of the case's details have been withheld in accordance with an ongoing IDF gag order. That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.